I know that I should be eating more greens, and I actually love to eat greens. And they're so freaking good for me, and they're so packed with minerals, nutrients, all just the great stuff. High fiber, just so good. I love them. I crave them. I'm gonna show 3 ways to prepare collards to taste amazing when cooked properly. I'm gonna show several different techniques through these recipes, and I'm gonna do the hardest one first, with the simplest recipe, but the hardest techniques that I think a lot of people do, just to compare and share how you can do them differently, how you can make it more efficient, how there's no roadblocks or obstacles to keep you from eating more greens. Because honestly, greens are so delicious to me. I am not going to use the stems, but we are just going to pull these off, just like this. Super simple, easy to do. Kids could help do this, just to help them get interested in eating more greens. I know that one of the reasons why I did not like greens, and I'm going to tell this story, my mom will not like it, but she used to feed me frozen spinach in the box, like way back in the day. We're talking, 1800s. And I remember getting sick at the dinner table because I could not eat it. It tasted like the lawn clippings under a lawnmower that were literally just microwaved or thrown in a pan and heated up. It was disgusting. I have far evolved from that flavor, and making these so they're so delicious that I crave them. I think using these techniques, it just makes it so it's easy to eat more greens. You could save these. I'm not going to do it for this video, but you could save them, you could dice them up, you could pickle them, you could add them to different things. But for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that. So I like to run these under the cold water. It helps clean them. Gets any dirt or debris that's on them, especially when they're whole head like this. And then also it helps crisp them up and firm them, just being in the cold water. So they could sit here while I allow the water to start boiling on the stove. And I do not pour them in, I take them out like this because I want the dirt to fall to the bottom of the bowl, if there's any. I don't want to just add the dirt back onto the greens. So we'll just give them a quick shake and let them air dry for a minute. And then any dirty water, either you can water your plants like this. A lot of people are like, Derek, why don't you water your plants? There you go, but it doesn't take a lot. All right, after it has air dried just for a little bit, I'm gonna take them out. They might be a little wet, and that's still okay. But what I like to try to do, and I know it's not always easy, especially if you're doing a ton like I would be doing in a restaurant, is just kind of line them up. It just helps with me and how I'm gonna process them, how I'm gonna cut them. And I just make a little bit of a pile here, and then I roll it up like I'm rolling one of those things where it's legal in some states and not legal in another. And you can do whatever size you like. And I like to have like bigger squares so you can see the way it's cut here. I'm just gonna slide it up like this and chop the other way. Right in. And then they're all clean, so I'm just right back into the bowl here. Boom. I'm gonna list off just a couple things of the differences through the video as you watch the rest and you watch the next couple ways to do this. I'm gonna use the collards differently. So this one, we're using the bunched collards. The cons are they're more expensive. You can get them organic or not organic, but the cost is different. So if I'm buying pre-cut collards, I can get a lot more for the money. The benefit of buying bunched collards is that you have control of how much stem is in them. Because when you're buying the pre-packaged, pre-cut, they just chop, the grocery stores, retailers, they just chop the whole collards in, so they're not losing any money. And they're giving you the junkier parts if I can say that, in addition to the leaves. Whereas I don't really necessarily enjoy chewing on those stems because they don't cook long enough. They're kind of woody and stemmy. They get caught between my teeth. And I don't like, it's not an enjoyable thing as much as this style it is. But it's all based on cost and what you want to spend and what you're doing with them. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that. All right, so this water is boiling. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt. You know, I can't tell you why or if it'll make a big difference, but I'm gonna add a little bit of salt here. And this is the way I've seen a lot of people do it, and I used to do it, and they just add the greens to this. And this is, it's okay, it works. But I think I'm wasting time. So I could use this water to blanch other vegetables if I'm cooking other vegetables. I'm just gonna shut it off right now and let it sit for a second. So from here, I do not wanna cook it anymore, and I don't wanna leave it on there, so I'm gonna be moving it back over here, and we're gonna be dumping it. I just rinsed that pot right out, still with a little bit of cold water. And now I'm just gonna let this sit, and it's super hot. If I wanna cool it down, I'll just add a little bit of cold water here, and we can do that. But collards are a little bit stronger than kale and spinach for sure. So they're much more durable, and they can be cooked for longer periods of time. But I don't wanna cook them for a long period of time. I just want this nice popping green color. It just looks, it's gorgeous. And that is what is attractive to eat. I do not want to eat brown greens. I have no interest in eating brown greens. For the collards, I would take them now and just do a quick squeeze. And just try to get out a fair amount of water. I still want the water in them, but I don't need them soaping wet. We're not having soup. Get this on high heat. I'm gonna use, for sake of ease and making it as easy as possible to cook in your kitchen, same pot. And it's already pretty hot, so I'm gonna add a fair amount of oil to cover the bottom. So I have like one, I have one mungo huge garlic clove. So that would probably be like 2 garlic cloves regular. So I'm just gonna smash it down a little bit because it's quite big. And then we're just gonna jam it out. As thin as you can get it. And then another. It doesn't have to be minced. I just want it nice, thin, so it cooks evenly. So that pan is still hot, so we gotta do this in a quicker fashion. And right in. If it starts bubbling like that, I like to put the lid on it just to save from any burning if there's any water left in the pan, which I should have and could have wiped it out. That was 2 bunches of collards. And they were like $2.50 a piece, so that's $5 worth of greens, which is not a lot. It's expensive. Another reason why I like the smaller, bags pre-cut. But I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt, not too much. So I don't want it being too salty. You can always add more salt when you sit down to the dinner table. And then some black pepper, because I love black pepper. I'm just gonna saute these. While those are sauteing, I'm usually cleaning up, quick wash. That way everything's gonna be done by the time I sit down to eat. It's just the way I like to have it. Now this does not take long. If you wanna add a little bit of water, you could. If you like white wine or whatever, might just add a little bit of that. I'm going to shut that, turn off the stove, and we're going to plate it up. What do we want to do? It's not that much greens. Do I want to do this? Want to do a cool one? We want to do a blue one. So to make this extra good, I'm gonna add these sprinkled bacon bits. And I just store-bought. They're vegan, easy solution just to boost up that flavor and make them more craveable. And I also picked up some crispy fried onions, which are also delicious. It just bumps up that craveability that I'm looking for. And I might, hold on one second. I'm gonna add one thing. A little black pepper for me, a little extra. A little extra. I just like it. I would add chilies, but I think some people, when I add chilies, think they can't make the recipe. So don't think that, just don't add them. This is just delicious. One of the things I love about collard greens is the chew. They have some substance and some girth to them. So it really has like a lovely texture that I can actually chew. It's not just falling apart mush in my mouth. Those little bacon bits really add that, just elevate it and give it that pop. And that crispy onion. It's just so delightful. And the garlic. I can't eat all these because we have 2 more to go. Okay, so we're gonna use this pan. All right, so this recipe, I'm gonna be using the pre-cut collard greens, and you get 2 pounds. Like, this is a good amount of greens. So what I'm gonna do is separate them, because I have 2 more, this recipe and then 1 more. I'm gonna separate them and use, that was supposed to be smoother. All right, make sure you grab the biggest bowl you can possibly find. I either have the smaller bowls or this one big bowl. I'm waiting to I need to get some medium-sized ones. But every time I pull this out, I feel like I need to wash Frankie or something. But I'm just gonna dump all these greens in here. So then I will tend to go through this, and if there's any like crazy stems, because the stems are all in here, they just chop them up. They make more money this way. It's more efficient, machine-wise. Everything's machine processed, pre-washed, pre-cleaned, which is good. But I just try to, sometimes the heavier stems will fall to the bottom, and I'll just pick out a couple here and there. And you'll be able to see more after we wilt them. Chewing on that is like chewing on a stick out in the woods. I don't want that. Because I have 2 recipes, I'm gonna set some aside for the next one. It's just so much more for the money, so much more value. I got 1 garlic clove. One, it's big. I don't know how, they just got really big. So I would say 2 normal size garlic cloves, or 1 big one. And just, you know the drill. Smash and peel. And I'm just gonna dice this quick. I'm not gonna go crazy, because what I am gonna do, slide it up here, acts like a nice little shelf. We're gonna add it right to it. Now you could just mince the garlic if you don't have a mortar and pestle. But if you don't have one, I'd get one. They're not that much money. I think this was 20 bucks. I have a nice fresh lemon, and I'm just gonna zest it. I like to not waste a lemon. I like to use the whole thing. So you can use the skin and zest it. And I really want some nice lemon flavor in there. I'm just gonna pound that lemon into that garlic. Do a really good smash. It almost becomes a nice lemon garlic paste. I have my trusty lemon squeezer, lemon juicer, whatever. It's like one of the only gadgets I have, and I have this because it's cool AF, as all wooden. It's just cool. And a friend of mine who's a chef in Thailand gave it to me, so I love using it. And it's super useful. Just squeeze both lemons in here. I have this container. I'm just going to fill it with a little bit of water, about a teaspoon of cornstarch. I'm going to stir that into the lemon juice and the garlic and make a nice little slurry, we call it. And then I'm going to add probably a 1/4 cup of water. So we have this concoction ready to go, I'm just going to bring it over near the stove. Quick cleanup. And the water's boiling, so let's just get right into it. Nice. Super boiling water. I have 2 towels. And if you're traveling with boiling water across the room, always be careful. I know. I'm doing this for the video just to show easier, but I would be doing this normally over the sink and very limiting traveling with boiling hot water in the kitchen. So I'm just going to add this water right to it. And this is the way that I find is the easiest way to cook greens. And I'm only using the pot because this is what I think most people have. You can use any kind of pot, the sauce pot that we used before. You can use this Heston. I'm going to try to use the same pot that I'm going to saute in so I don't have to clean up so many dishes. And I'm just going to stir that up. It's beautiful. Don't forget we have that shot, Ira. Now, while this is steaming, I can enjoy my own little facial spa just for a minute. The reason why I like to do it this way is the bowl's cold, the collard greens are cold. And I like doing it this way as opposed to adding the collards to the boiling water. Because immediately, as soon as I add the boiling water to this, the water starts to cool. Now I could, if I need to go do an errand, something comes up, I do not have to worry about this overcooking. I can just let it sit here and it can get cold. It's not going to overcook the collards. Collards are strong enough to really hold up, and it just produces that pop of green that I'm really looking for. And it's super important because that's how I want the final dish to be, that delicious, craveable pop of green. Papa Green. Papa Green. Papa Green. If somebody doesn't have that channel name already, there you go. Papa Green. Papa Green. I'm going to give that 2 minutes to sit in the boiling water, and then we'll bang out the rest. Super simple, super easy. Add it right to it. Rinse out the bowl. Super easy cleanup. Now, if you don't have time to wait for this to cool down, you can just add a little bit of cold water here, and then it helps make it easier to squeeze, because I want to squeeze some of this excess water out. Not a ton, but I do want to get like a good size handful and just squeeze. And that's plenty. Oh, see? And I'll find like stems. Now I'll find the stems I don't want to eat. Heat up that pan again. A little bit of olive oil, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. As you can see, it's probably like 3 tablespoons. If you want to just elevate it, a little pop of flavor, some pine nuts. I have 2 tablespoons of pine nuts here. I got that pan hot. We're just going to toast those for a minute. Add a little bit of salt. Not too long. I do not want to burn them. And they'll cook really quickly. As soon as that starts to turn brown, I'm going to add the greens. Try to keep it all in the pan. Now I'm going to add a pinch of black pepper. And I'm going to keep an eye on these. What I'm going to do is make a little well in the middle. And then that slurry, lemon, garlic, cornstarch, right in the middle. And we're going to bring that, cook that out, cook that starch out. But it's going to create a nice little thicker sauce. Might cover it for 30 seconds to a minute. Fix my hair in the window, in the lid. Minute, done. So there we go. Now it's really starting to come together. You can smell that. It just smells lemony. It's nice. Got that little saucy clinging together. It's just going to add to that flavor. Just be delicious. So I'm going to give this 30 seconds. Grab a plate. Gorgeous. Love this. because of that slurry, it's allowing me to do a nice little stacked presentation. I might just rinse a little bit of that, just a little bit of water, and clean out the pan and just do a nice little sauce on top. I love to add a little bit of nutritional yeast on here. It just looks fantastic. Obviously, it's gonna make it taste amazing. And you can add as much or as little as you want. I like adding enough to mix it in and just around the whole thing. And then one of those little 80s style garnish tricks. It's just 2 thin cut lemons sliced in the middle. Beautiful. Oh yes, I like this nice little moat of sauce that's around it. I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. It's hot. So good. It's got that chewy, so I can have something to chomp on. The nooch acts as a little bit of the salt, the flavoring, but it's that lemon sauce that makes it like super juicy. This is so good. On its own, I might add some diced tofu for lunch or on top of it, or sliced, seared and sliced, maybe seasoned on top. Could be a great side dish for whatever else you're doing, potluck. And this is something where you can just have those greens prepared, already blanched in the fridge. So I might take that whole bag at one time, blanch them all, have like 3 or 4 of these containers full of them, and then just have it for the week. Easy to set up, easy meal prep. And it can be super fast and easy if you're prepared ahead of time. I think sometimes collard gets a bad rap. Some people just don't like them, or they don't like greens and they just turn their nose up at it. And I get it. I totally get it, because I was there eating that frozen crap lawnmower under the lawnmower greens. But the way to do them to make it taste super craveable, like my mouth is watering. This is so good. I hope you get to try this one. And we have one more to go. We're gonna get into this third one now. It's just slightly more advanced. We're just going from basic to medium to more advanced. And it's not even that hard. I say it's more advanced. It's just much more elevated in flavor. Let's do this. So for this one, we're gonna make it super easy, and I'm gonna use my Wanna Believe kettle. All right, so while that's boiling, gives me just enough time to do some prep. I'm gonna use 1 onion for this. Quick dice. I had all those huge cloves of garlic, and now I have all these tiny ones. Super inconsistent. So I peeled them all. And it's probably gonna be a tablespoon of minced garlic after I'm done with this. And I'm just gonna smash it here. Just quick mince, nothing crazy. And I'm just gonna mix it with the garlic. I'm just gonna pour this right on. Just slow. It splatters, so I like to do it in the sink, or you can just pour it even slower. Safety first. Beautiful. Just let it sit like in this for a couple minutes. I don't want the pan to get too hot right now. This is panko breadcrumbs. About one, this is 16 ounces, so 2 cups. Panko. And then I also have some nutritional yeast. This is about 6 tablespoons. Because it's nooch, add as much or as little as you like, the nutritional yeast. If you don't like it, don't add any, but it does add that nice nutty, cheesy flavor. So I'm gonna toast that. I wanna just watch it, and I'm gonna heat the pan up with it, not add it to a hot pan. Now while that's heating up, I'm just gonna drain this, add a little bit of cold water to rinse the bowl out. I'm gonna let this cool and drain while we finish this. You'll be able to start smelling it. I am gonna add a little bit of olive oil, fair amount. So I want that to soak in. So what I'm trying to simulate here is like a garlic bread type. I will, with the addition of the fat, it'll toast a lot faster and more even. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of granulated garlic here and just sprinkle on top. It might be the equivalent of a teaspoon. Just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. If you want to get fancy, you know I'm all about fancy, and I can see it browning already. There's just a little bit of oregano. Now you got to really watch this. I can tell it's already starting to smell like it's toasting, and this pan is going to carry over cook as well. And I just want that little bit of toast, and you can see it's already browning and getting nice and golden. All right, this is extra. This is how you're building flavor. And this dish right here is definitely special. It's special enough for me, it's special enough for guests. I'm just gonna put it in here. I don't wanna leave it in the pan because I don't want it to burn and use the carryover cooking. I think this is great, just like this, and I don't wanna waste any of that, so I have a rubber spatula. Just gonna clean it up. Do not leave this on the stove. Do not trust that it's gonna cook. You have to keep an eye on it. I can't stress that enough. So save that pan, we're gonna use it. Make sure it's clean around you. And this is for after. And I am gonna add the onions. The pan's still hot from before. And I'm gonna add the onions and push them over to the side. I'm gonna add some olive oil on this side, a couple tablespoons worth. And then I have some tomato paste, guys. And I'm gonna add about a good 2 tablespoons. And this we're gonna fry in that oil. And I wanna see it start to fry before I move the onions. I'm just gonna fry it separately. And as soon as that starts getting a little bit fried, then I'm gonna start stirring it in. Move to a wooden spoon. So make sure it's on like a medium high heat, and we're gonna cook that tomato paste out. The most important thing to me is I do not like sweet. I eat tomatoes, I love tomato sauce, but I do not like sun-dried tomatoes. And tomato paste is too sweet for me. And as you cook it, it develops those really complex savory flavors that I love and that are gonna be amazing in this dish. I'm gonna saute that down a little bit more. I am gonna add a pinch of salt now. And some black pepper, some powdered black pepper, a little bit here, pinch. As soon as I think it's getting a little bit dry, you can see it's starting to stick to the pan. I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil, just a quick glug around. We haven't added the greens yet, but I want this, it's starting to smell like almost like a pizza sauce almost. I want to cook that a little bit more. These greens I have not strained too much, so they're still a little bit waterlogged, and that's fine. Just means less water I'll have to add afterwards, if I add any at all. This is about a half of a quarter of a cup, which is not much. I just want to get enough to create a little bit of steam. Cover it for a minute. Just want to cook this down. There's one of 2 ways we can do this dish. If I'm going to do it, eat it right now because it's hot out and I don't want to use the stove, which is what I'm going to show is how we'll do it. I'm going to stop this right now. Just turn off the heat, cover it for a minute. We're going to grab a plate. Casserole dish. Beautiful. This is a great dish if you want to not saute it as much. You can let it cool down like this and then heat it up again later. Like if you want it already done and prepared for a dinner party, it's fantastic. All that beautiful panko crust. I'm just gonna add like a good fair amount. And we're just gonna make a nice little crust. Spread it out on top. Just so you see a couple of the green things peeking out. Beautiful. And then I have some leftover. for whatever I want. I get a little bit of crunchy things I can add to any dinner, any other green I make. All right, guys, so this dish right here would be perfect if you want to let it cool down and then just pop it in the oven for 15, 20 minutes at like 350, 375 convection. And that would be like 180 Celsius back in the UK for my UK friends. You could add vegan cheese to the top of the crumbs if you want. Make it any way you want. Add anything to the techniques. It's just the techniques. Saute the greens. Make sure you fry off that tomato paste, a little bit of onion, some garlic. Flavor the breadcrumbs. You could add pumpkin seeds to it. You could add anything you want to the breadcrumby bit. But garlic, bread, collards. That's what I like to call it. And that texture of the panko with the delicious greens, it's just fantastic. It smells delicious. Yum. Oh yeah. That texture of the panko really does add to it nicely. You know, it's a little bit more complex than the other two. You've got the onion, you have the garlic. It's just so good. This is good. I think kids would love this one because it's got that texture in it. You can taste the breadcrumbs and the garlic breadish. So good. Really so good. To make collard greens that some people really just don't like and turn them into something awesome when cooked properly. Wanna try some, Ira?